Well, good morning everyone and welcome to the show. Fernando.
Welcome to the show.
Today we have a fun one for you. We have a 2018 Chevy Impala. You guys have been asking about this car. Now this might not be the video you're hoping for, but we're going to cover a lot of information today, so let's get to it. This particular Chevy Impala is in today for a subwoofer upgrade, which is what a lot of the times people do. You just add a sub amp into it. What we're gonna walk you through is the process of adding that amplifier, and it's gonna start over here at the laptop. But before we do that, let's look at the car, figure out what's inside of it, and we'll talk about what we're gonna put in it. First up, it has a touchscreen in the dash. It's push to start. We don't see any branded logos anywhere, meaning it doesn't say Bose, Infinity, Boston, Beats by, there's no branded logos anywhere. Looks like there's a provision for a speaker in the dash, in the door, the rear door here, and then also in the rear deck. When we come around into the rear deck though, we'll notice that there is no speakers there. It's just an empty hole. That's one thing we can tick off in our book. We know that there's no rear speakers and that it's not a branded system. The next step is to turn it on and actually listen to it and figure out what each speaker's doing. See if the speakers even exist. Like, we know there's nothing in the rear deck, but we don't know if there's anything in the dash or either of the doors. Turn the radio on, and for this we're going to be using the EduCar Test and Tune app. The reason why we're going to do that is because, for one, it has a bunch of tones, it has pink noise, it has all the things that we are going to need to figure out what's going on in this car. We're going to select Tune real quick. That's going to bring us to this page here. It's going to play some pink noise. We just want to play that first to see what speakers are in the car. Put your ear up into the dash. There's a speaker there. There's a speaker there. That might be a subwoofer. There's a speaker there. We know we have at least 6 speakers in the car. There's no grill up here for a center channel, so we don't have to worry about that. We can then switch to bass, and that is only gonna play bass frequencies. You have mid bass, a mid, and treble. Playing the treble, I can hear that coming from the dash. If I switch back to bass, I get nothing coming out of the dash, but the door is all of a sudden making sound. Go back to treble. There's absolutely nothing come out of here. A little bit of sound playing mid. Mid bass is making noise, but bass is thundering. My guess is that's a subwoofer. Heading to the back speaker, the plain treble, clear as day. That one's definitely playing treble. I'm gonna skip to the mid bass, and I have mid bass too. I'll go to bass. It's there, but it's definitely not as loud as the front one is. So what we've just quickly figured out is that this up in the dash is crossed over for high frequency, this is crossed over for low frequency, and the one in the rear here, though it sounds like it has some form of a high pass filter, for the most part is full range. Now we'll validate this with an RTA, but if you don't have one of those, this is a quick, easy way to test and see what is going on in the car. With that information in hand, that's leading me to believe that there's some form of an amplifier in here, because typically a radio doesn't have the 3-way active crossover built into it. And if there's an amplifier in here, there might be a bypass. That's why I said we're gonna start here at the laptop. The first place we wanna visit is pack-audio.com. And the reason for that is because they make a product called the AmpPRO. The AmpPRO is designed to work in conjunction with a factory amplifier, giving us RCA outputs for things like subwoofers, front high pass, rear high pass, front, rear, and sub. But in this case, since we're only adding a subwoofer, the nice thing is that it will allow us to keep that factory amplifier in place, playing the factory mids and highs, as well as giving us a subwoofer output. There's also the iData interface, or the AR, but that's an amp replacement interface. So with that, we'd have to take the factory amplifier out. By taking the factory amplifier out, we don't have an amplifier to play the mids and highs, so that really wouldn't be a solution for this. And then you have metraonline.com. They make a similar solution as the AmpPRO in the sense that their piece will usually do high level, low level, or amplifier integration, but then it's tied to their DSP, which isn't the end of the world. You could DSP the subwoofer, and you'd have the option, just like with the AmpPRO, to add in amplifiers at a later date. Then there's the NavTV Zen product. Works similar to the AmpPRO, and in this case is made for the Bose system. The nice thing about the AmpPRO piece is that the AmpPRO is designed for Bose and non-Bose, as long as there's a MOS bus in the car. Don't worry, we'll show you how to check for that. Because of the criteria in which we've just described, we're gonna look at the pack piece. Typing in your make, model, and year, we can select Refined Search, search, click the audio interfacing, and that'll bring up two products, the AP Sub GM61 and the AP GM61. The AP Sub GM61 is a new product that they've just come out with, and the idea behind it is, instead of buying the full-blown AmpPRO that has front, rear, and sub output like we just talked about, it is designed specifically to just do a subwoofer output, which is exactly what we're doing in this car. I think we should click on that and see what it says. Click on Documents. This is going to launch the instruction manual for us. We want to read that because in the top of all the pack audio instructions is they give you all the disclaimers, warnings, and anything that you should know going forward. If there's special notes on your car, they're typically here. This interface is compatible with vehicles with or without Bose that are required with an IO4, IO5, or IO6 model radio. That's the first tick on this that we need to verify. To do that, General Motors is located right here. That's a QR code, so to access that, we just simply need our phone. Select your camera, come down, scan it, drag down, and that'll launch your build code. And what we're looking for in this is the IO4, 5, or 6. On the fifth line down, the second input, we see IO5. Perfect. Naturally, we keep going as far as reading the notes. In some non-Bose radios, there may be absence of audio from the left channel when the AM, FM, or XM source. The AP sub is capable of providing a workaround by bypassing the right audio through the left and right channels. Basically what they're saying is that if you don't have any sound on the left channel, you flick dip switch number 3 and it'll mirror the left channel over to the right channel, which is fine. It's a subwoofer, we're golden there. Plus it's only on AM, FM, and XM. All your portable media, such as the stuff coming off your phone, is going to be in perfect stereo. So read through all these. Your remote output is only rated for 2 amps, which means it's enough to turn on one thing. Anything past that, add a relay. And if we scroll down, it gives us basic parts as far as what is in the kit. This is an ANC bypass harness here on the bottom, the T harness for at the radio tuner. Scroll down. Troubleshooting is that dip switch 3, and then it gives us the location for the radio tuner. Something to note, most cars nowadays, the radio isn't located up there at the screen. The screen is just the command center, and there's an external brain somewhere else. In this case, it says the Chevy Impala is above the passenger kick panel. So we don't even have to pull the dash bar. We just got to drop down the passenger side of the dash, and we can access the plugs we need to plug in there. It gives us a breakout of what the factory tuner looks like. There's 2 harnesses plugged in. Keep scrolling down, and then we see that ANC harness here. And if we look for our car, Chevy Impala, passenger side of trunk is where the factory amplifier is, so that will get plugged in back there. For the most part, that's all we need to know. I'm gonna go next door and see if we have the sub AmpPRO in stock, what we'll be using to do this installation. This will streamline the installation. We won't have to go back to the amplifier and figure out all that nonsense. However, because not every installation is going to be this straightforward, we are still going to go back to the back amplifier, and I'm going to kind of walk you through the process that we would have done had there not been an AmpPRO. We had one in stock. Let's see what comes in the box. The main brain box that is designed to take the digital signal coming from the factory radio and out to the amplifier, converting it over to RCAs. This is not a high level to low level adapter. If we pop the top, we can see there's no resistors in here. This is 100% tech. Dip switches here on the side. We'll wait and see how that sounds when we're done. We'll balance left and right to make sure we have sub on both. The instruction manuals we just looked at online. Subwoofer level control, so if your amplifier does not have a bass knob, this does come with one. The T harness for at the tuner brain, and the ANC bypass harness for back at the amplifier.